Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CraftStash Live and welcome to another brand new launch. We've had a lot of Christmas launches recently, haven't we? An awful lot. We started with Helen's last Friday. We've had Sheena's as well. We've got mine now. We've got a card making magic one next week with Christina as well. There's just loads of them. So why are we thinking about Christmas on one of the hottest days or hottest weeks of the year? Well, that's because we want to give you a chance to get your crafting in order and organised, ready for the festive season at the end of the year, because it's always a rush with presents and getting to see people and things. The last thing you want to be doing is worrying about getting your paper crafting done as well. So let's get prepared this year. Let's get our Christmas products in early. And this is my new collection, which I've been so excited to show you. It's Nordic Christmas. It's actually been a couple of months since I've launched anything because we're leaving bigger gaps between launches now to give you time to save your pennies and to give us time to actually play with these products and promote them to the best we can, so you can get the most out of them and the most inspiration for you. Now, we are going to be giving away 3 bundles of the new products. 2 of those I'm going to be announcing at the end of this hour. Whether you're watching on Facebook or whether you're watching on YouTube, I'll go through, I'll randomly select a name from either of them just in the comments. So today, all I'd like to know is, have you started your Christmas crafting? Pop that in the comments, have a chat, connect with other people on there as well. Well, I don't mind if you have a chat to yourselves whilst I'm demonstrating. That's absolutely fine, and I'll go in and I'll pick a comment from each of the platforms at the end. And then there's going to be another chance to win, which I'll let you know about later if I forget, because I do often forget. Just keep an eye on the CraftStash page because we'll announce it on there, and that will be a week-long competition that you can enter to win that 3rd prize. Right. Last little bit of housekeeping before I say hello to a few of you. This is again another fantastically low price collection. There's not one complete collection, so you can pick and mix the bits that you love. I know one particular item has been flying already, so you may need to be very quick with that one. The lowest priced item is $7.99. Again, I mean, when it's under a tenner, that's just an absolute bargain, isn't it? We'll go through everything in just a moment. So the $7.99 are the embossing folders. There's 2 of in this collection. And also, if you are spending over £30 on the Nordic Christmas collection, you're going to get a free grey board pack. Now, this is from my Jack Frost collection because the 2 collections work really well together, being both festive, Christmas, wintry. The Jack Frost grey board has these brilliant words and other images in it, all in thick grey board that you can pop out. You can emboss, you can paint, use your gesso, you can use your inks on it as well, and it gives you 3-dimensional elements. That is completely free when you're spending over £30 on the Nordic Christmas. That will come as a pop-up at checkout. So as soon as you put £30 worth in your basket and you go to checkout, you get a pop-up to say, do you want to add this to your basket for nothing? Absolutely, yes, please. Even if grey board's not your thing, give it to a friend. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to say hello to a few people. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Let me see. These always take a little while to catch up. Send me some comments. Make sure that you can see and hear me okay. Catherine, hello to you. You were first up on YouTube. And hello to Kathy Saltmarsh as well. She says, hi Lou, love the new collection. Thank you so much. Mrs. Stationery and Stuff. Do you know what? Mrs. Stationery and Stuff. I always have this long name for you. I'd love to know. And you've probably told me before, what's your first name? Because it'd be so much easier to say hello to you that way. Marta, hello to you. Now, the lovely Marta has done some samples for me here. I'm going to show them and I will tell you which ones I heard. You'll be able to spot them anyway because her style is amazing. But she's also created this absolutely stunning canvas, and the video is going to go live on her YouTube after this one. So I'll try to remember you at the end to pop over to Marta's YouTube after that to see her using these dies to create like a mixed media canvas. It's beautiful. She sent me photos. It's stunning. So try to remind me in the comments to remind you of that at the end. Be about an hour today. Hello to Cheryl Thomas as well, Fairy Crafter as well. Congratulations on your new launch collection. It is, honestly, I'm so excited. And so many of you, I'm seeing new names recently as well, which is really exciting. I think that's probably since the blog hop. So hello to all of you who are joining us who haven't been with us before. Belinda Blakely on Facebook. Hello to you. Marta, you're on Facebook and YouTube by the looks of it, because she said thank you. Right, should we get into it straight away? Shall we come down and see what I've got for you, all the new products and all the samples that I've been busy making and Martha's been busy making as well. So Nordic Christmas. Now, you know I love my mixed media, I love my layering, which is what Textures is all about. Actually, one thing I never mentioned with Textures is kind of behind the brand, where the name came from, and the little sort of subtitle that we've got on the name as well. So Textures. Now, if you've known me for a while on social media in the craft industry, you know, a few years ago I got into lettering, hand lettering, and I love it. And I love to bring lettering elements and fonts into my paper crafting, into card making, because I want to mix the two. I didn't have time to just do lettering and then just do paper crafting and just do scrapbooking and everything else. I wanted to mix them. So that's where the brand Textures comes in. So it brings in elements of fonts and letters into your paper crafting. So that's in your stamps, for example. It's playing on using sentiments and things like that, and phrases and words in there. And we've got the little subtitle under the logo here, Textures. Obviously in the dictionary, you always have the little bit in brackets, don't you, that says how to pronounce a name. So Textures, it's a noun, the quality created by the combination of different elements. That's really important. The combination of different elements. That's what Textures is all about, bringing different elements together, layering them up to create these effects. Now you can see little sneak peeks of everything around here, but let's start with possibly my favourite item of the entire collection. Just going to make sure I've got the live chat on so I can see when you're commenting. This is the Nordic panels, and they're 5x7. You get 3 dies in here. So there's the layering dies, and then you get the outside die. This is ever so slightly larger than the layering panels, so you can put a border, can you see with these two, you can put a border, a coloured or a white border behind, or cut your card base to the perfect size. So you've got the border die, then you've got the layering panels. Now these can both be used on their own. They are beautiful on their own. You've got one that's really highly detailed and one that's a little less detailed, and I will be cutting both today, so you'll be able to see the effect of both. But they layer up absolutely perfectly. When you layer one over the other, you're going to get a peek through. So you see some of the colour of this one and then some of the colour further through to your background, so you're effectively creating 3 layers. So many of you saw the sneak peek that I did on social about a week ago, where I did the ombre with the new Uncharted Mariner Distress ink, and then there's Salty Ocean and I want to say Speckled Egg, probably something like that. I blended some ink, I die cut with the lesser detailed panel, then I die cut a plain white panel and I layered the 2 on top, and this is the effect you get. Now this is glued on flat. Okay, no foam pads or anything. So if I just, I mean, you've got a little bit of foam under the title there, the sentiment, but the actual panel is glued on completely flat. Look at the dimension you're getting. Now what I love about this, and one thing I have not had chance to do, I've run out of time, I will be doing it, I might even do it as a live or something because it'll be nice and relaxing, is you can embroider into the holes in this front panel, because if you look carefully, you've got snowflakes in there as well, in those pinholes. Really clever, really, I mean, the graphic designer that works with me from the Practical Publishing team, from the CraftStash team, she is so clever. I mean, I design all this, but then she makes it so that it works for you as craft as it works as a die. So yeah, she needs half the kudos as well. She's brilliant. So you can see I've got the blue one there. Everything you're going to see on these cards, all the sentiments, all the panels, all the backgrounds, they're all going to be available, besides possibly some pattern papers maybe, but we'll come to those later. So you can see here I've just actually used 2 layers as well, because you don't have to do the layering of both. You can just use 2. So just that white panel on top and then a rainbow underneath. Really quick cards and quick backgrounds. And then I've got wood grain paper with black underneath. And we'll come to the stag head and everything in a little while. How cool is that for a masculine feel? It doesn't even have to be Christmassy either. Let me just check the comments. Donna, she said she hasn't started her Christmas crafting yet, but she will do soon. Yeah, we need to get on with it, don't we, Donna? I know, you and me both. I'm actually probably going to be using some of these this Christmas. Lovely card making. Thank you, Faye. That's lovely. So that is the panels die set. So the set of 3 there, 5x7. again, there's lots of other examples around here that I can pick up. Now this is the one that's been flying out of the warehouse this morning. I've shown a few sneak peeks so you can see how it works. I love it. Now this came about because I had, within my fixtures and fittings range, I had a 3-dimensional star. I don't know if you remember it, it was a star, it was about this big, and it was flat backed, so you could put it onto a card or a mixed media project, and it sold out so quickly. And I said I would love to have a Christmas tree, a little bit quirky, so it's a little bit blocky, almost a faceted Christmas tree that is, again, 3-dimensional, flat, to be able to put onto a card, a scrapbook page, a journal, front of a journal, whatever, if you want to, but really easy to put together, one piece with tabs that just fold into each other. And that's what we've got. Again, the designer, she works so hard. She was amazing on this. I mean, look at this. This is not the flat back version, obviously. This is 2 flat back pieces put together. How clever. I'm going to be doing this probably as my second demonstration, so stay tuned for that to see how easy it is. We've got the option of all the detail as well, so there's little LED lights in that one. That is going in my house at Christmas this year. But this is, you can see another one here actually I've been playing. This is how it will sit on a card if you just do one version. So quick to put together. This one I've spritzed, I've added paint flicks and things like that, glitter to it as well. This is just 3 elements, or well, 2 elements really. So it's just plain green cardstock. You see there the pattern. I've actually embossed these front 3 panels with an embossing folder that's included in the collection. I've then used the Creative Expressions fluffy stuff. So that's this, if you've seen it before, heated it up so it goes all puffy, like puffy glue. And I've got myself a Christmas tree there. Now I can be making that contemporary, modern, traditional, however you want to do it, whatever style you want to. And then you can also, and this is one I need to do a video on, and I will do very soon, so you can join. Make sure you subscribe to the CraftStash YouTube channel, but also make sure you subscribe to my own YouTube channel as well, which is Paper Crafting with Lou Collins, because I'll get videos up on both. This one is the same tree, but can you see it's much slimmer? So the base of this is much slimmer than this one, and it's not quite as deep either, but it's got the 2 sides rather than the 3. Really, again, really quick and easy to do. You just need to snip some bits off and glue things together, and it's kind of folded into itself a bit more as well, so again, it doesn't stick out quite as far. So that's the Christmas tree. Let me just show you the size of the die. You will need your A4 die cutting machine for this. It's a big die, but once it's cut out, all your tabs are there. You then get the option of all of these bits as well. Let's just grab these out. Now, a little tip for you, because I've learnt the hard way. You've got a couple of little dies in here, and these little dies have pointy bits on them, like this. They like to stick right into the very corners of your paper envelope and not come out when you shake them out. So do keep them in the plastic pocket that they come in there. Now what we've got here is we've got the pot. So that is a pot that will potentially, if you want to, you can cut that shape out and it will sit under your Christmas tree. Then you've got you've got the star as well. It's a faceted star. I will show you that later on as well. I've got one of those cut for you. And then we've got snowflakes and Nordic design panels that will fit in the spaces, in the panels of the tree. Okay. Again, I'm going to show you all of this. So that's where you can go from solid and embossed or inked or whatever to the pretty panels, and you can choose. Like I say, you do have the Nordic. Let me just show you the front. You have the Nordic design, which is kind of like your Fair Isle patterns, and then you've got your snowflakes as well. So that's those. We'll get to demonstrating as quickly as possible. Let me just check. Sam Hope, she's doing her Christmas cards in this blistering heat, which makes it feel very strange. It does. Do you know what? I'm sitting here with the air conditioning on in a summer vest, a summer top. I have got more clothes on, by the way. And I'm talking about Christmas trees and snowflakes and things. It is really odd. But never mind, it's what we have to do as crafters. Now, this is the next item. So this is a stamp and die set. So you'll have 2 dies. The dies are stag shapes, beautiful outlines. Now we could have just done these on their own because they are just fun shapes that you're going to use time and time again. They make amazing apertures for things like shaker cards and things like that. But yeah, there's a lot more that you can do with those. When you team them with, I'm going to just bring this in actually so you can really see the design on there. When you team them with these stamps. Now these took me a painfully long time to design because what I've done is I've taken the initial shape, the silhouette, purely in solid colour, so you can do an ombre inked effect, you can heat emboss that, whatever you want to. And then coming out of here, of each one, are some words. So this is where the text comes in, of textures. We've got glisten, frosty, sparkle, snow, flurry, winter, words like that. We've also got this gorgeous flurry of snowflakes, but not only do they come out of the side here, they also just go into the silhouette a little bit to give it texture, to give it dimension, to give it detail as well. But of course, where the black went into the silhouette, I had to make that a negative into there. So I had to take the design out of the silhouette, which was, it was difficult. It took a little while. I do these sort of things digitally, but yeah, it took a while, but it's there, and I absolutely love these. So these are two, I would say they're around about A6 in size each on an A5 sheet. They come in with the dies as well. Now the reason we've got the dies is so that you can do cards like this. So you can just have the stag head. You can see those, the words and the snowflakes just touching the edges there. Then I've used just the words and the snowflakes element of the stamp to put some detail into the background. This is another example. So you can cut into your heat embossed silver image and then place another stamped image of a different colour behind. So we've got the two-tone effect there, like this. And I will, if I get time at the end, I'm going to show you how to do this one. So simply stamped in black really quickly, die cut around that silhouette, and then just raise that die cut up on foam pads. So where I've got the wood grain around the edge, you can then see peaks of the wood grain underneath as well. You could put a really bright colour. You could actually maybe put some LED lights behind there so it's just glowing. You know, have some fun with that. And here's a fun one that Marta's done, and she's just used that stag silhouette on its own for a really traditional card on top of that really lovely Nordic panel die set. So there's so many ways of using the stamps and dies. Then as a kind of hold it all together set, I've also got the tags and the sentiments, or sentiments and tags. This one, look, the tags are huge. They're not small tags, they're not small sentiments either. The packaging makes them look tiny. They're really not. Look at the size of these tags. Aren't they amazing? So these tags that I've created are using these dies. You can see I've cut through multiple layers of cardstock. I've cut through corrugated cardstock as well there. The words, so I've got merry. It's probably better if I show you these words actually on the project, because you can see here we've got all the tags and label shapes. We've got a cutout panel, so this is going to cut detail into your panels, the bottom of your tags. You can create a border on your cardstock with that as well. We've got the words Merry Christmas and Festive Wishes twice each, because we've got each one in this kind of block label design, and then we've also got them in the brush script. And this is again textures, different texts, different fonts, mixing and matching them. So when we're looking at these, for example, I've used festive wishes, mix them around, you've got completely different sentiments. Okay, I love to mix up. Here's one, just Christmas wishes, because you can use festive wishes, Christmas wishes, happy Merry Christmas, Merry Festive Wishes, you know, all these different ones. You can just use the word Merry or Christmas. And wishes you can use away from Christmas as well. So Marta's used this panel again, really beautiful colours. She's inlaid hearts and some of the diamonds back in a red. And that sentiment is just in red, just using the brush script. You don't, of course, have to be mixing and matching the fonts if you don't want to. There's some of those tags. So that tag with one of the labels cut out, made into a shaker card. And here, a little more of your sort of distressed look with that stag head, that die that we just saw in the stamp set. The word Christmas. I love this design of paper as well. Marta, if you're still in the comments, let me know where the papers have come from for this, or let everybody else know, because they're really pretty. They're inked around the edges as well, so it just gives them that distressed look. But the tags layered up behind too, and that word there. So there's so much that you can be doing with these. You're going to use these time and time again. They're just going to keep coming out. You can see how much I use them. I've got low tack tape stuck to the back of the packet. And the last two items before we get demonstrating, let me see, it always takes so long for my comments to catch up on my phone, so I'll just give that a second and I'll go and see. 2 embossing folders now, lastly. Now these are for your backgrounds, of course. When you're talking about textures, background is so important. That's often where we start. So have a look at this. So we've got the beautiful, again, it's like your Fair Isle pattern, and Martha's just used it on these 2 cards in the background, just in white, and it adds texture to it. When you then use your spritzes, your dusts and things like your powders, your inks, your watercolours, it's going to fall into the patterns of that embossing. Can you catch that? It's just absolutely beautiful. She's actually used it on a lot of her projects. I'm going to be using it as well. And here is the other embossing folder, just this one here. So this is the berries and pine. I forgot the name then for a second. So you can just see it in the background. How pretty is that? So you can pick up with ink. Now I have got videos that will be going up soon on the product pages on CraftStash. Okay, I'm just going to come back so you can see the website for anyone who's new to us, who's maybe just stumbled across the video on Facebook or YouTube. So you can shop all of these items, whoop, that way, that side, here, at them prices with that offer. It's not difficult, is it? So you can shop here, www.craftstash.co.uk, or if you're not in the UK, craftstash.us. If you're in the US, you get free shipping over $80. If you're in the UK, you get free postage over £30. You're also going to get, if you spend over £40, you're going to get the option to use ClearPay, completely optional, but if you want to spread the cost, you can do that. Interest free, no credit check required. That's payments at 4 payments over, I think it's like 2 weekly, each 2 week. And then lastly, if you are spending over £30 today, you're going to get a free set of grey board from my Jack Frost collection, which was last winter. It was only actually about 7 or 8 months ago, even if that. But that's beautiful. It just works so well with these. Right, should we get into demonstrating really quickly? So come on down. You'll see everything on the website. So let's just pop these cards to the side. Let's concentrate on some projects. Shall we go with that Nordic panel first of all? I'm actually going to cut everything live. No, I lie. I'm not cutting everything live today. I'm going to cut most things live today. So just pop these. I don't want Martha's done a fantastic job. I don't want any of her cards getting ink or anything on them. So let's start here and let's find where all my pieces are. So I've got some bits here. So let's cut first of all. Let's cut the first panel. So that's going to be this detailed one. I'm going to cut some craft cardstock, so I'm going to make this one quite a subtle background. It's really good fun if you play with inking your cardstocks and things before you cut it. So bringing in my machine. Now you do not need to use a large platform die cutting machine for this. You can absolutely use your A5 one, if that's what you've got, a smaller one, because this is a 5x7 panel. It will go through the smaller machines. If you have large panels like this, it's advisable to have a look on CraftStash, because this is great. I use this often. This is what's the word? Shim. It's like a shim. But what this is going to do is just give you that extra little bit of padding where you may need it behind a detailed die. So when I remember, I just pop that in underneath my die there. I don't cut into it, but I cut it. I add it as a bumper underneath the die. So let's just run this through. Absolutely not usually necessary for this die because it cuts beautifully. But at the end of the day, it's a craft cardstock, so I'm looking at about, I think this one is actually about 250 GSM. It's a really good GSM, so it doesn't hurt to add that in rather than wish you had it afterwards. So taking this away, I've just put that in vertically. I'm going to take that frame away. This is where you do get lots of little bits. Oh, I cleaned my bin and I didn't put my bin back, so it's all going on the floor. You can see all the bits are falling out already. Let's just see. You look in the middle, yeah, all falling out there already. You can see that. So I think that's all cut through beautifully, but for the sake of being extra careful, I'm going to pop it in at the other angle. So I usually put it in this way, and then any detailed dies like this, I will just pop in, I forgot my shim, I'll just pop it in that way, just to double check every single angle of all those little bits are cut. Because the last thing you want to do is take it out of the die and then wish you'd run it through one more time. And this goes for absolutely any die. So I think I'm pretty safe now to take that out. Once you take it out, you can usually reposition your paper in your dies, but it is a little more difficult. If you've ever tried it, you'll know what I mean. Right, so just down here, I'm trying to keep all the mess to the side. So let's take the tape off because I'll reuse that. let's pop these bits out, just pushing my finger through the gaps just to make sure. Yay, all ready. Okay, so let's make a mess. There we go. Try and get all the bits out first and then pop paper. Where's my pokey tool? See, not prepared at all. There are holes at the top if you need them. There we go. Let's pull this gently. I love that noise. And all these pieces, look, all these pieces that are coming out, you can use those to remake yourself another pattern. If you're really clever, you could probably save like the bits that come out in some sort of order and make sure and put them back into the same pattern, like a negative of it. But I don't have the patience, to be honest. But for a shaker card, they'd be lovely. The only little bits I usually have to pop out are some of these little pinholes when I talked about maybe embroidering into them. So there we go. Just saw one more. There it is. Beautiful. There we go. So let's just pop that onto white. Instantly, you've got a gorgeous panel. I mean, how pretty is that? You can pop that onto a foam sheet. So CraftStash do adhesive foam sheets that you can die cut. So you could raise that up and just, I mean, how stunning is that on its own? But let's add a little more something to it. Let's cut from gold because I want to add a little bit of sparkle to this. Let's add from gold the second panel. So this panel is not quite as detailed. Again, I better just tape that down. Do not get into lazy habits of not taping my dies down. Pop that in there and run that through. So how are you all doing? So I'm only asking that you comment today to potentially win one of the bundles. I'm just asking you to comment on have you started your Christmas crafting. Nothing too difficult or complicated there. Have you started Christmas crafting? I'd love to know what you're making if you have. If not, when are you going to start? Just have a chat, have a conversation, and I'll come along and pick a winner towards the end. I'll have to do it live because I don't have like a little assistant with me here that can do that for me. There we go. So again, just give it a check over, just make sure everything's cut. Pretty much always is going to be, unless you're going through a really heavy weight cardstock. Popping all the bits out again. Where's my pokey tool? There we go. Just in the top corner there. And as you can see, you've got another panel. Now you do have, they are different. Okay, so look at them there. So that one's got a lot more detail than, let me turn that over so you can see, than this one, but you can equally use the both of them for similar effects. But when you layer, here we go. Let's layer that craft over that gold. There's so many colour combinations I want to do with these, honestly. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? I adore that. And then we pop it onto the white for your third. Oh, I'm in love. Every time I do another colour combination, because I didn't test this out, every time I do a new one, I just think, wow, how pretty does that look? And that's those two dies. I'm just going to refresh my phone. For whatever reason, I am not getting the comments through, everybody. I'm only getting who's watching. Oh, no, I did get Geraldine, thank you. All nice. Laurel is starting to sort out Christmas bits to get going, hopefully by August to start. Amanda is not crafting until later in the year. She's got birthday cards to make, desk to tidy. I've always got a desk to tidy. Then daughter and grandson's coming over. Oh, she's in Spain. Yeah, I bet it's warm. Oh, see, all the comments have started coming through now. YouTube is keeping up though, isn't it? Thank you, Fifi Stamper. Thank you. Fiona says beautiful layering dies. Jacqueline, she always makes her Christmas cards in July, so she's ready to post them in early December. Great collection, Lou. Thank you so much. Yeah, well organised. So there's your background panel dies. I think that is just one you can't miss. I think this is going to be the second to go. First the Christmas tree and then this one. How pretty is that? Okay, let's just have a very quick tidy up. This is all going to come together to be one card today with lots of different elements. I'm just going to reach and grab my bin again because you know what I'm like, I've got to keep things tidy. So keep commenting. Don't forget we have got that free grey board if you are spending over £30. Right, so next I'm going to move on to the tree because everybody's been talking about this 3D tree. As I said, it does come from or come after the 3D star that we had with the fixtures and fittings collection. Just moved my mouse. I had to make sure that I hadn't accidentally cut you all off there. No, it's all good. And this is the shape that you're going to get. So it's a big die. Like I say, it's a big die. You're going to need your A4 die cutting machines, and then you've got all your little bits. Now I have already prepared one of these, as in I've cut it, and I have also cut the smaller panels into it as well. Okay, so this is how it works. Now, what you'll notice when it's cut is that you've got score lines in there, lots and lots of score lines. Most of these score lines are going to be mountain folds, some of them are going to be valleys. I've gone ahead and I've put my double-sided tape onto each of the tabs. You'll be able to see which are the tabs for gluing. They're quite obvious really, they're kind of tab shaped as such, if you know what I mean. Gail Matthews, loving this new set, Lou. Thank you so much. And Abstercrust is currently making backgrounds for some Tim Holtz Christmas cards. Oh, we love them. Love Tim Holtz style, don't we? So what I'm going to do now, because I've already cut these pieces in, now you can cut one layer, 3 at a time. So what I suggest doing is cutting your base tree with 3 of your panels in, and maybe snowflakes, or there may be this sort of fair isle design, and then running it through twice more without this die and just doing the little panels in each time, so you get them all cut. Or just scatter them about, only have a few panels with pieces die cut out of them, or just have the middle section. It's entirely up to you. Now I'm not going to fold this just yet because I want to do some inking and such. I want to make this a little more painterly. It's kind of a word, isn't it? So I'm going to bring in my blending mat, which I need new. If anyone wants to gift me a new blending mat, I've got holes and cut lines in this, and the ink actually goes through, so I need to be very careful. But let's just pick that up because that just fell on the floor. So let's start distressing this, because this is the stage where I would suggest you want to be doing your distressing. The first thing I'm going to do is bring in a brown ink. Let's go with my phone standing up against my distress ink holder. Let's go with gathered twigs. Well, I've got the holder for gathered twigs, so that makes sense. So I'm going to put a little bit of brown around areas. I think I'm going to concentrate on the middles there, just a little bit, and I'm not worrying about blending in too much either. I'm not doing anything with this back panel because this back panel is all going to be hidden, completely hidden up. There we go. Then I'm going to take a brown, oh no, we've got gold. Let's take, this is a mica spray from a distress one. This one is tarnished brass. It's going to look good with that. I'm going to put that just out of the way a little bit. I don't want to get spritz on there. Now with any sort of mica spray, by the way, everybody, don't shake up and down. It's tempting to sort of, let me take the lid, to shake up and down like this, isn't it? What you're going to do is any mica sitting in the bottom, it's just going to go straight up that tube. So you want to roll it around. If you're going to shake it, do it side to side. So you're not encouraging that mica to go up the tube there. Okay, right, and let's just give this a spritz. Now I don't want this as an all over colour. I just want little splatters of it, just to give it a little bit of a sparkle. You won't see that just yet. You probably won't see it so much until it's dried. I'm also going to use, this is a, Tattered Angels. Does anyone remember Tattered Angels? It's an old brand. A brown there, and let's just give that a quick whiz dry. It won't take minutes to dry. This is why I've done my gluing now. The backing of the glue is going to keep those tabs dry, so it's going to make it much easier for that glue to remain stuck. Okay, so just dry that off just so it's not quite so damp. We're going to want to do our folding and scoring. We don't want to get hands that are far too messy. And lastly, now my distress spray stain. I love this. Look at the effect you get. If you love your paint, your white sort of snowfall, snow flurry effect. Now this is all probably looking a little bit messy at the moment. Let's just dry this off for the most part. I'm actually going to take, just because it's not going to dry very well on the back of the adhesive, so I can just blot that off for now. And just make sure these bits. So what I've done is I've just added on these, I'm just concentrating on these 3 arms. I'm not worried about the back, as I say, and I've just added some distress to them. You can do a lot more later on, but it's just easier to do some of the background now. Now that's fairly dry, so I can do the folding. Let's just pop this to the side. I'll probably want that again later. I want to bring my Christmas tree in as well because the little light's on there, so it's almost as if he's just sitting there shining away for nothing and no one can see him. Right, okay, so now we've got, you can see you've got your Christmas tree shape, and if I just fold this over, because that's the base, there's the Christmas tree shape. So let's just fold. It's easier if I actually look, now I've dampened it, it's easier if I look at the back there for the score line. There we go. So these 3 arms here are all going to fold into each other and attach to this base. So work your way around, and I would suggest, to make it easier, just initially just mountain fold everything, all the edges of the tabs. See, now my backing paper is going to start coming off my tabs, but that's fine because they're going to get stuck in a moment anyway. It just takes a few moments to go around all of your tabs and things. If you want to do your folding and then flatten it back out, you can do that before you do any spritzing, because of course when any water or any liquid is applied to a cardstock, you're always going to get that element of the cardstock fibres expanding, and that can decrease the score line that you've added in. So just be wary of that. If you're new and you're not sure where the score lines are, as in new to this die set, it might be worth you just folding everything initially, just so you know where they all are. Nearly there. I can actually see the score lines better from the reverse now I've done the spraying. I've tried this a couple of ways. So I've tried this, I've tried it where I've inked it all and then folded it, and where I've folded it and then inked it all, and it's actually easier to do it this way initially, but I always go in and I add finishing touches. Right, so I think everything is nearly mountain fold. The only ones I haven't done are there's double lines between here, and that's what's going to create the shape. So these are going to be, as you work your way from the top down, mountain and valley, and mountain and valley. There we go. So you can see now that's starting to bend into that shape. It's like a bit like a concertina fold there. So mountain, valley, mountain, valley. The cardstock I've used, I think this was a Creative Expressions one, I believe. Either that or a tonic one, Craft Perfect one, but it's a pale green. But you can use any cardstock. This will work with a really heavyweight one. There we go. So I've got them all folded. So the only valleys are the second, fourth, yeah, that's it, the second and fourth on each arm as you go from the top down. Okay, so let's now start pulling this round. I'm going to need my pokey tool. I've actually turned my phone off, which is no good for seeing the comments, so I will have to just start that up again. You've said that's what you do with your leftover ones too. I'm not sure. Oh, it's not me, it's a different Louise, that's why. Talking about giving charity cards. You're all talking amongst yourselves. I love that. Brilliant. Thank you, Joe. Maureen York, hello to you as well. You're all joining me. Thank you. Right, so let's start by bringing these 3 in together, and then we'll put them onto the base. And there is no right or wrong way or right or wrong order in which you do these. What you'll find when you take the backing off of one of the tabs, as it joins, it's pretty obvious it's going to join to the next one aside it, but because it lays like flat like this, that obviously can't join. So you need that concertina fold to bring these up to be able to meet each other. So very quickly you're going to start making the shape. Okay, so it takes no time at all. It's really easy. You just glue each tab to the panel that's alongside it, that's next to it, and as you bring them in so that they line up, straight away you're getting your shape. Okay, nice and easy. So this is very similar to how the faceted star worked that we had with the fixtures and fittings collection. That one also, as you brought the tabs together, it would just fold it, bend it into the correct shape. And I love this kind of faceted look. This I wanted to do even more of them from metal. I've got 2. This was kind of going to be like a whitewashed metal effect, and this one here was silver spritzed with black embossing powders to make it look tarnished and old. So I want to have some more fun with that. So you can see I've just brought those 3 lines together just at the sides. I'm just going to tuck the bases in for now. I'm not going to worry too much about those. I'll just fold that one actually on the score line. There we go. So now just take one of the sides and just remove those tabs and press that up. You'll see, let me lay this down for you. That just sits up onto the base absolutely perfectly. Again, you might want to just push up and that lines up. It might be easier, just as easy if I do this from the reverse for you. See, if it's lays flat, it doesn't quite join. If you bring it up, it just sits in there. It's so quick and easy to do. In fact, I would be happy to say I think children could do this, part of their Christmas crafting, pre-Christmas crafting, because you need to get ready early. And let's do the other side as well. Red line tape is perfect. I have used hot glue as well for this, so either or. If you're careful with your hot glue, just please don't burn yourself. One more edge just to do there. Do you know the hardest thing about this is actually doing it so that you can see what I'm doing? I'm sure people like Helen Griffin, who put together 3D items a lot as well, have the same issue. It's so easy to do, but doing it so that you can see what I'm doing is a little harder. So now all we've got is the base. You've got two options, because you can, if you want to, pop the big base in, and what that's going to do, if you can see there, you actually line everything up with the base, and that straightens the tree up, and then you can fold these pieces over, or you can do it the other way. I'm just going to do it the other way today because I've already put my glue on there. So when I say red liner glue, I've got about 8 rolls of red liner glue, and none of them were the correct width for me today. So I've used this sort of yellow paper tape, which I have no idea where I got it from, but it's actually quite similar. Maybe not quite as sticky as red liner glue, but it's not a bad double-sided tape. There we go. So there's our Christmas tree, and it's kind of a bit springy as well. So if you just see, it will fold into each other too. So you can make it really quirky. You can make it bend as well in different ways. So really good fun. It's kind of pops too. So if you want this, then all you're going to do is create 2 of those and stick them back to back. And in fact, I'm not even sure. I think, no. There you go. There's one of the joins. So you just can't see which is the back to back. What I did do though is I did take a panel out from the middle before I glued them back to back, and that way they just you can see the light all the way through, so you don't have to have 2 sets of lights in one either side of the back. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So there's our tree. It's got a little bit of distressing on it. Let's just add a little bit more. Now we've got the shape and we've got all the folds, we can add a little more to the edges, just to darken up some edges. I've got the star. Let me check the time. Wow, the time's going really quickly. Anyone commenting, I am going to in a little while be picking names. 2 names, 2 people will have won. So carry on commenting, letting me know what you're doing for your Christmas crafting. There you go, just inked around the edge there with my gathered twigs. And as I did here, this was a solid one, same colour cardstock. I just embossed it. I didn't do any inking at all, and I just added that really pretty fluffy stuff, which is from Creative Expressions. So we are going to be making just 1 card today with all of these elements. Something else I want to do is one of these tags. So I'm actually going to die cut corrugated cardstock for you, really just to show you how you can do that. So we'll finish putting that together in just a moment. Let's take these tags. Let's go with, got a smaller one there. Let's do a bigger one. Is this going to fit? Oh, I can just fit a bigger one on the bit of cardstock that I cut out. Only just. Please do leave me comments. Thank you. I see every time I check it, I think it's stopped updating the comments. I know you're all there, and I appreciate you all being there as well. This is on Facebook. It's just the comments aren't updating. I'm sure you're there. Lots of people. It just keeps telling me people are watching. Lots of you watching. Thank you so much. Not so many comments, but I'm sure you're there. I'm sure you are commenting. I'm sure when I go back later, I'll see them all. Any questions regarding textures, regarding any of the products, do shout. If you put it in capitals, it's easy for me to see. There is an angel policy on everything from CraftStash, and it's basically you can make 200 of any one design. So if you were to make 200 identical designs, That's absolutely fine. And then after 200, we ask that you change the design ever so slightly. That's if you're selling for charity or for profit. So yeah, I mean, what's the chance that a card maker is going to make 200? Things do have to be handmade, by the way. But what's the chance of you making 200 of a design exactly identical? I think I'd get a bit bored. I'd need to start changing things up. So as you can see, I've just gone through corrugated cardstock. The beauty of that is that you can then start peeling bits away and revealing some of that texture underneath, which is just what I'm going to do here. Try and get the top layer. It does squish it a little bit as it goes through the machine. Some cardboards are better than others, so I've got Amazon boxes. If you ever shop there, I whispered that, you know, your cardboard boxes that come prime time. They are brilliant. They are actually what I used here. So really good, strong, sturdy boxes. And again, it will cut through. So let's just add some ink around this. I just put my gathered twigs away. Let's get that back out. So we've got the two different tag shapes, good size. We've got all the sentiments in this set as well. Like I say, on the CraftStash, when you look on the product page, you can see, I'll give you the address again in a moment. You'll be able to see the images that I've done. All these cards you can see on the CraftStash website. As you hover over the products, you'll see images and you can pop in and you can see those there. So let's add a little bit of detail to this tag just by using these stamps as well. So I'm trying to pretty much use nearly everything within these. So we've got the two stags. Let's take this one and let's take, if I've got it here, I know I've got it here somewhere. There you are. Picket fence, white ink. And just press the stamp into here. Usually you'd use a stamping block or something, but are you going to pick up? Are you going to? Am I going to have to use black? Let's press that into there. There we go. So you may not see that actually. Can you just capture? You've got a little bit of detail in there. I'm going to just do a little bit this side as well. And then let's bring in the black. So I will need to wipe this because I've just used it. There we go. And let's bring in black. Memento is absolutely fine. Let's do some more so you can, just so you can see it. I'm quite happy with the white. Let's go just there. See that? Just little bits. Not too much. I don't want too much of the stag in there, just the snowflakes. There we go, and just pressing off the excess as well. There. If you like mixed media and things like that, this is perfect, but of course you don't have to use these mixed media techniques either. One thing I did forget to show you all was the little star that goes on top of the tree. We will do that as well. I'm running out of time quite rapidly. So I've got my tree there. I've got tree, where's my star? There it is. Here's my star. So actually I might put this on its side. This will be different, won't it? Let's make sure that card's the right way around, because of course the Nordic panel in the background can go any way. So yeah, we can do that horizontally, can't we? I will line this all up. We can pop the tag on there with the Christmas tree, or we could even, oh, there's so many choices. Somebody help me with how I'm putting this. Let's do it like that, something like that. I've got this star. So this star has been die cut from the Christmas tree die set. It's faceted, so it's got score lines all around it. So all you need to do is just fold along those score lines, work your way round. So there's a score line for every point of the star that runs all the way through the star to the other side. So there's 5 on this. So just pinch it, fold it all the way along each one, and when you've got all the way round, the easiest way to give this the shape, I'm just going to put my hot glue gun on because I'm going to need that to put this all together, is to put it down onto a flat surface and just pinch up the peaks of the, what do you call it, the points of the star, the legs, the arms of the star. So the 5 ones, you're just pinching those up. And what you'll end up with is a little star that's lifted up. Can you see that? It's sort of cupped now a little bit. And that's going to go on top of here. Okay, now a couple more things I've got from the tags, the sentiments and tags. I have got 2 sentiments which I've cut out so far ready. I've got the word festive in that lovely brush script font, and then I've got the wishes, which is from the like the labels. This is, I've already put it onto this. This is double-sided adhesive. This is available at CraftStash. You can buy it in sheets. It's absolutely brilliant. You get it in white and you can get it in black. I've got the white, so it really lifts everything up and stands out, but you can get it in black if you want it that way as well. Another reason for using the white, I'm going to leave the letters on the backing paper on those. I'm going to just try and take the backing paper off from the background, which I think it's going to almost just come there, leaving the rest on. This is where I get sticky fingers. Come on, off you come. And then I'm going to line my die cut over. So you can see the adhesive sheets do die cut really well, really accurately. And this just prevents any stretching and things. So there I've got wishes, and I can pop my festive over the top, and we'll have that just there on our card. So nearly getting to the point where we're going to finish this off and glue everything down. Let's just glue down to start with the panels. I don't know why I'm not seeing comments on Facebook, but I appreciate you. I know you're all there. I can see the comments on YouTube though. So Lou, if you cut the base off the tree, can it be squashed down without ruining it? Do you know what? Not quite, but it can be flattened a fair bit more, because no, not exactly. So these will go into each other only as deep as this. Does that make sense? So it'll kind of only go down a little bit, not completely flat. So no, it's not going to be completely flat. Certainly have a play with it and see if you can flatten it, but I would be putting this into a box. It would be a box card, a box gift, a home decor piece, something like that. If you're going to post it, obviously in the US, you're looking at it being deeper, but you can absolutely be using this panel here. Now, where's that card gone? Here we go. Marta's done this. She's used the back. She's cut out with the Nordic design, the Fair Isle design panels into it, and got it on there completely flat. So you can be doing that as well. So there's lots of different options for how you're going to be playing with this. Now, I need my glue. I'm going to use Sizzix glue. I'm going to put this panel down completely flat, because it just does not need dimension. It's brilliant. It looks dimensional, it looks layered. Well, it is layered without the need for the foam tape between and things like that. So the gold onto the white. So you can see there already, just that one panel is beautiful on its own. There we go. So you could just use that. You could just use that on its own. Then when we put the craft over the top, so I'm just going to glue, because I'm going to be gluing things over the top of this, that's kind of going to keep everything down. So I'm just going to glue around the edge and then a few little dots in the centre as well. Wow, this hour, wow, nearly getting towards the end already. I think I've kind of touched on using most of the products, but let's just wait and see this finished card before I then announce who's going to be winning. So all the products can be found on CraftStash while I'm just gluing this. If you're spending over £30 on the new Nordic Christmas, please do. I love it. I hope you love it as much as I do. I'm really excited about this one, and I can't wait to see Christmas cards coming out at the end of the year with these products. But if you do and you're spending over £30, A, you're going to get your free delivery, and then B, you're also going to get the option of a free piece of grey board too, which is absolutely fantastic. That is. I'm going to be using my Distress Stain too, just to add some more white splatters. Now these aren't, you're not really going to see these in the camera, it's going to be quite subtle. Let's do a slightly just on that bit, just more so you can see it, and wipe my mat. There we go. So it just adds a little bit of a snow flurry there. I think this should be nice and warm, so let's pop this. Now, did I decide like that? My Christmas tree needs to also go on there. I'm not going to put the base on the Christmas tree, but I am going to put that star on. So big blob of glue on the star, just nestle it there under the tree. And festive wishes, let's put that. Do you know what, I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to move this if I can. I'm not sure if I can now. I think I might have left it a bit too late to lift it up. It's going to be a bit warm. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with it. This is going to have to go here. It's going to be a little bit further. Oh, it'll fit underneath or on top. Let's just pop it. We'll just sneak that in there. Festive wishes. Now I would have brought that a little bit further over, given this a bit more space, but never mind. So a few more splats here and there. And lastly, just a little bit of twine to finish this off. Make sure I don't stick my hand in there. Where's my twine? Here we go, a bit of Christmas twine. And this is just going to go through that tab. Need a little bit of glue just under here. I do love a painterly type card. This is what I call a painterly type card. So let's pop this through. So folding it in half, popping it through the hole and then putting the ends through the loop. And I'm going to leave that quite long. I'm going to leave that long. They can trail down over there. There we go. So that's literally almost everything that's within the collection. The only thing I really didn't touch on was the embossing folders. But again, on CraftStash, you'll be able to see examples of how I used the embossing folders and different techniques. So there's 2 or 3 different techniques that you can use with those. I've done a video for the embossing folders. You will find this not up there yet. It wasn't this morning, but it will soon be on the product page where the embossing folders are for the Nordic Christmas. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see any videos that link to that. That's there. The stamps only just touched on, so there's lots more to do with those. But again, I have got a video using the stamps that will be on that product page on the website too. Right now, I think it's time to pick winners. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. My lights are still going. They're still just about, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can just about see they're still shining. The batteries are going to run out very, very soon. Okay, let me just I'm going to do a completely random scroll and I'm going to stop. This is on YouTube. Mrs. Alabama. I don't know who you are. I haven't got a first name. Mrs. Alabama on YouTube. Congratulations to you. I can't like your post. YouTube doesn't allow me to like your post to let you know. But if you're still watching, you have won a collection of the new Nordic Christmas. And let's come over to Facebook and I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to scroll. Now this is a little bit harder because I don't have the comments. I'm just going to have to scroll up and catch a comment and see if I can find one. This is awful. The first one that comes to me, Sam Hope. I read this one out actually, Sam Hope. She's doing her Christmas cards in the blistering heat, which feels very strange. So there you go, Sam. You as well. You have also won a bundle of the new Nordic Christmas. Now, if either of you have actually already, Mrs. Alabama or Sam, if either of you have purchased it today, just let customer services know and we can refund that instead. And also we need your postal addresses. So email customer services at craftstash.co.uk, I believe, and claim those prizes. Right, there's going to be a post going up on the CraftStash page, the Facebook page, so you can find out where to enter for the 3rd prize. Please do go along and check that. I'm just going to make sure I haven't got a notification to tell me where that's going to be. Oh, it's there. It's sorted. It's on the blog, CraftStash blog. So go along to this address here and then at the end put /inspiration. And that's the CraftStash blog. You find lots of inspiration there, but you'll also find ways to enter competitions. And that's how you enter for the 3rd prize. We'll give that a week and we'll pick a winner. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I hope you love Nordic Christmas as much as I do. We have got more Christmas fun coming up next week on Wednesday. I've got a fantastic card making magic launch with Christina, which you're going to absolutely love. It's beautiful baubles. We've also got lots more still going on the website, of course, always deals and offers over the weekend. This offer is going to be on certainly for the day. I can't say that it's going to go on any longer than that. So if you want the free grey board with the £30 spend, do make sure you grab that today if at all possible. Yeah, and there's that. I think that's everything. Oh, I did need to remind you about Marta's video, which is up. It's live around about now on Marta's YouTube channel. Go and find her there. Marta, I'm sure she can pop some links in there too, and she has used this collection to create a beautiful canvas. So thank you so much for that, Marta. I will see you all very, very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, for watching. Thank you for all your comments, the ones I could see and the ones I couldn't see, and I'll see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye bye.